My name is Crow, and this is a honest Blue Protocol Star Resonance review at literally 3 a.m. It's gonna be a no BS review. Leave a like and subscribe if you guys haven't yet already. Let's get right into the video. First thing, let's just get the story out of the way. The story is just another isekai fest. There are some things that some people would actually like in the story, but I'm just gonna be honest here. It's basically someone tries to corrupt you, and you just fight that enemy. In the end, they have a cool looking second form. And that's pretty much it. So for your dailies, they're super fast because Blue Protocol is basically a mobile game that just so happens to be on PC. Super fast to clear, I would say maybe like 10 minutes tops. You can even AFK a lot of mobs and then just finish it that way. Super simple. Dailies don't take long at all. Next up, the combat. So the combat, keep it simple. It is simple. The combat is not difficult at all. I believe the original Blue Protocol was a little bit more freedom of expression, a little more mechanic wise, but the combat in Star Resonance is more catered to mobile. There's even a auto combat system which was actually buffed in China as I'm recording this video recently to be more smart AI auto combat, so people that actually are bad at the game, they can just throw the combat on because it will actually do more damage than they ever could. Because I do believe Blue Protocol is honestly just a dress-up game where you can just dance with your friends and be social, as you guys can see on the screen right here. Obviously, if you learn your rotations and everything with your character, you possibly, are going to do more damage than autoplay. But for 90% of people playing Blue Protocol, they're just going to turn on the autoplay 100%. It's not even a question. Combat in the game as well. It's not much to think about. Just learn your rotations, when to use a skill. Even for tanks, when to taunt, when to stun. Other than that, stay on one spot and kind of just ignore the mechanics. Now, I do believe in master difficulty, you actually probably have to play the game, but the core base game of Blue Protocol, you do not have to try when it comes to combat. Now, moving on from combat, I might as well just talk about this. The difficulty in enemies in Blue Protocol Star Resonance. When it comes to the monsters in the overworld, let's say your field boss is not hard at all whatsoever. Any mob, elite boss, or common, they're all static. They don't do anything ever. You're pretty much never gonna die, so just auto them. Field bosses, you will die in the beginning when the game does start, but anyone that joins Blue Protocol, I would say after a week, you'll just be able to quest up and get to everyone else's level. A healer can just res you, so it doesn't really matter, you can still auto regardless. So it just dumbs down the difficulty, if I'm just being honest. Even when you guys are doing dungeons, when you guys have to do certain dungeons from this listing here, anyone can just revive you, I believe, as many times as you can. When the master mode does come out, I assume that it will actually be more difficult and you have to play the game. But I actually recently did the Dark Mist Fortress, which is actually the highest difficulty content, or the most recent dungeon that released, and I basically just stood in one spot with a tank. Yeah, you have to learn mechanics, right? There's some mechanics you have to know so the team doesn't get wiped, but that's maybe, I would say, like 2 or 3 at most mechanics you actually have to know. Otherwise, just kill the boss. The game is not hard. That's why I never understand really this whole, pay to win crusade. Oh, you won't be able to clear content, free to play. The game's not hard. If they do release content in the future where it's like, oh, you have to swipe, otherwise you won't be able to clear it unless spend like a month grinding, then I get it. But the game is literally dress up, autoplay galore. If you really want to learn mechanics, nice for a YouTube video, or you just want to flex that you cleared something fast, or you just want to clear efficiently, that you join a guild, or just know people that actually want to play the game. Next is going to be progression. So progression actually is pretty fast in Blue Protocol. I believe it's ×2 EXP, but even then on release it's going to be pretty fast in general. You can actually go faster if you leave your computer on all day long and farm mobs. You'll actually be 3 levels higher than the next person on the day that you have to hit 60. So yeah, essentially there are a bunch of quests that you're able to complete. I did not do any of the side quests or anything like that because I had no interest in speedrunning the game. I have so many quests here that I have not done at all whatsoever, and I've only done the story quest and naturally leveled up from the dailies. So with that being said, my gear score is 1100 right now. Or not 1100, sorry, 11,000. Can't do math. So with that being the case, I literally have 11,000 gear score, and I don't have full gold, I don't have high refine levels, and I'm basically just playing this casual. So progression, it's not hard. You know, everyone's gonna hit this gear score naturally. Even if I don't have the golds, you're gonna hit 10k. You're gonna be able to actually do content. You might have to farm a little bit, but even then you can craft equipment as well. So progression isn't really hard at all. Next we'll talk about customization. So just to talk about this really quick, a lot of the stuff in here I actually do not like personally, but there's something cool in here, which is the dying system. So the dying system actually makes a lot of these things better because you get to reinvent it in your own image. So let's say you want to do this, right? Well, you can go to the dyeing, and then you can see how the dyeing would look like if you just customize it. Now, unfortunately, the dyeing system costs way too many materials for free to play, but you know, if you're like an all, you know, black outfit person, or you want to go maybe like all red, this is a weird, nasty looking red, but if you want to go all red like this, you can. So luckily outfits do have a dyeing customization, so even if you don't like how it looks naturally, you know, you can switch it up, maybe change it how you want it to look. But besides that, all the customization here you can just look at for yourself, everything that is available. It will then show you how to get it. If it does not show you how, actually no, I believe everything shows you how to get it. Yeah, everything shows you how to get it. So yeah, where it's like a rare drop, you have to get it from shop, it will show you. Navigation and the world feel. So I will say this one thing: navigation feels horrible at times when you're trying to auto navigate to a quest, and literally just because you are in front of a wall, you cannot auto navigate, because every time you auto navigate, it then summons your mount, which I think is the most stupid thing ever. You should be able to auto navigate anywhere without the need of putting up your mount. That literally makes no sense that it's auto mounted every single time. Other than that, navigation wise in the world of Blue Protocol Star Resonance is pretty fun, literally only because you have the jumping mechanic. The jumping mechanic makes it not feel horrible, and to be honest, no, I think you still need a mount in this game, but I feel like a lot of people will opt out and say you actually don't need a mount, literally because you get to jump everywhere and it's super fast actually. So that's something that the game has going for it when it comes to navigation style. And then you can also float as well. By the way, you can literally float as much as you want in the town, okay, not outside the town, but you can literally just go higher and higher and higher. And then there's also a dash mechanic with the E, so that's also helpful in dungeons as well. Next is going to be the social aspect for Blue Protocol Star Resonance. I will say that this is definitely a big plus to the game, as you can literally see right here. But there are two events. I wasn't saying a bunch of events, but there are actually two events that are catered to meeting others. Or is it? Oh no, it's actually 3 events. Yeah, there's 3 events here that are catered to meeting others. You know, I've seen a lot of people talk about other people's outfits, They have good conversations. Well, good is questionable. They have questionable conversations, but it's just like, you know, anime conversations, if you know what I mean. But yeah, the social aspect, it's super easy to talk to others. I will say the world chat is annoying to cycle through. I feel like the chat system could be 100 times better, and yes, you are able to turn off the chat system if you just go to the settings here. I feel like a lot of people actually do not know this, which will probably be in my top 10 things to do in Blue Protocol Star Resonance when you do start. But I know a lot of people do not like the chat, so you guys are able to actually turn off the chat. Okay. Yeah, with that being said, social aspects are really nice. I know the community team for Blue Protocol Star Resonance actually want to do in-game little fun events with other players, so it's just a really overall good feel game. You know, you're playing with your anime aesthetic characters and a bunch of friends that you know. Talking about guilds, guilds are pretty proactive. You have a merit system as well, and then guild centers you're able to upgrade. And then you have 2 guild activities, and then there is a training dummy zone in the guild space, so it's pretty proactive. Hopefully they add a little more guild stuff. I don't think anyone really enjoys doing guild dance, I would say, but yeah. So for gear, the most part, how you actually obtain it is from farming dungeons, and you are actually able to craft gear. It's just the issue is that it's not as viable for the average player. So hopefully they make an update to where crafting is more available for people rather than always having to run dungeons, because I know not everyone is gonna want to do that. There's also a refine system here that upgrades the overall stat for your equipment piece. A lot of people do not like that it's already percent chance and barely into it, because obviously hitting the 5% fail is gonna hurt. But I don't really see it as that big of a deal, but I mean, I get it. You know, it opens up for bad practice. And then there's a gem system as well. To attain these, you actually have to work on your gem crafting, which I'll bring up life skills next. But yeah, here you're also able to do gear crafting as well. And then you have your dismantle system. They have an add-all feature where you can just select individually what you want to pick. Forgot to add this in, but there is a reroll mechanic on the last stat. I mean, it says it, but yeah, you can do this and then it'll change the stat most of the time. I mean, I don't know why it didn't move, but yeah. So life skills I personally did not do in the beta test, only because I know how long it takes to do the life skills itself and what to actually you know, upgrade, you know, for your talents. Obviously, when it does come out, I'm going to do rewards because you actually get badges for each one that you get to put on your character profile, which is kind of cool. But a lot of this stuff takes a lot of time to do, and not only that, it will then start to cost you stamina. So stamina in this game is like any other mobile game, you know, stamina to do a certain amount of things a day. Life skills are limited on that. A lot of people do not agree with this because obviously it limits how much you can invest into life skills, and it was just weird as well because life skills are pretty much the end game. I would say the dungeons are end game, but hard dungeons are sleeper. You literally can in the future auto combat them 100%. I already know that's coming. Only thing you have to try is like master dungeon, right? And then after that, what else do you do besides a raid? You just work on your life skill. So hopefully they remove stamina or just make it much higher cap for people just to enjoy themselves. Housing system. So housing system allows you to actually level up. You go up different ranks as you do more things for your housing and the EXP that is needed. You can also buy homestead coins from the shop that allows you to purchase multiple things to upgrade your house faster. You're able to put flowers, fielding, you can have crafting here, you can have roommates as well. And then you have applications. Then you have a list of all the furniture here. I did see some people having issues as well. I believe it's the crafting, it just takes super long. So another system that just takes super long to like get what you want to get out of it, which is kind of unfortunate. So hopefully they release. Actually, yeah. Is it release? Is that the word I'm looking for? Remove a lot of limitations. That's the word that I'm looking for. Because I feel like housing, life skills, like these are all things that I would say, maybe not 90%, but 80% of the community will be doing instead of doing dungeons all day long. Like 100% of people are not doing dungeons all day long. Trust me. We all know this. Anyways, it's everything you have in gardening. You got figurines as well. Certain flowers that you want. Right? And then your fields, your crafting station. Talent tree system, pretty simple. You're able to auto activate what you want to do to clear this out automatically, and then you're able to select whatever build that you want to go. There's multiple builds online. I even have a video on the channel for Heavy Guardian for a tank build and a DPS build. And then you're also able to reset it at will, so you don't need to spend anything. The max is actually 70 points. And if you auto activate, it does everything by itself here, but the issue is that when you reset it, you just can't reset one node. You have to reset the entire thing and then click it over again. A lot of people do not like this. It just makes respecking like just a pain. Next up, I'll just do skills while we're at it. Skills, you don't really do a lot of different skills. You pretty much just play the same exact skill build always. You may change like 1 or 2 attacks, but that's pretty much it. Skills have a level up system. The cap is at 30. Then they have an advanced system that uses these books here. And the books are very, very limited to free to play, so you do not spend these books. There's also book selectors that you do not want to open up if you aren't guaranteed playing that class, because if you actually buy the book and you change the class, no, the book does not change into the class that you want to play. This hasn't happened to me, but I can already see that, you know, people having that issue. But yeah, you want to use your books for your strongest attack and then move it up gradually on other things that you use normally. And this will probably be the last thing that we do before we go over monetization, because that's always going to be fun. So Blue Protocol has a flex band system. That's basically what I call it. So you have your armband here, and actually upgrades with how many achievements you complete in the game. So it's literally like a flex system. Like, you have this on, like, they know you love Blue Protocol Star Resonance, okay? You think it's the best game in the world. So there's an achievement system here, right? And you just have to literally complete all of these. And yeah, that's just how you upgrade this system. So it has its own set of achievements to flex on people. And you have the choice of displaying it. You don't have to display it, right? But, you know, you already know people are going to. And then you have the regular achievement system, which will give you rose orbs that you can use for yourself, which we'll talk about right now. All right, monetization and Blue Protocol and the gacha system. So let's just go over this really quick. Gacha system, there is 3 of them. You have the skin and you have the mount. You may be asking, where actually is the third one? Oh, the third one is here at this NPC that 90% of people will not know about because they're just doing whatever in the game. But there actually is a system called the will system. Battle wills are units that you're able to summon for your party in game, and typically you want at least one of these humans on your tank or your support if you are trying to min max a dungeon, which is like 1 to 5% of the player base, so it doesn't really matter. 90% of people are not going to care about doing dungeons anyway. They're just going to auto most of them. And when it comes to mechanics, they may just learn the actual mechanics that will wipe the team. But a lot of people are not going to care about mechanics at all. Since a lot of people first game is this game. Well, a lot of people's first MMO is this game. They come from, maybe Gacha Space or just anime game lovers because they love the anime aesthetic. So essentially, you are able to, do summons like any other game has your own animations. You're able to skip it as well. There's different rarities, so you already know what you're getting. We have blue, and then purple, and then you have gold, and then you have gold and black. So yeah. Also, apparently, it's like absurdly pricey for a typical game, but I feel like that kind of makes sense because the costumes and stuff don't really cost that much. Anyways, going on to that, monetization wise, they have the outfits, you have your monthly card as well. You also have your battle pass that you can get from here. It gives you a interesting looking outfits. And then you get the season pass as well. It gives you different buffs. Let's see. It's going to the store. You have most of these that you can actually buy. And the cool thing, like I said before, you can dye them. So if you don't like how it looks, just dye them to be something, how you will look. We have two different currencies. We have Rose Orb, and then we have Unbound Rose Orb. Not Unbound, Bounded Rose Orb. So different currencies for different uses. As you can see, you can use regular Rose Orbs here, and then you use the Bounded ones. Bounded ones can be exchanged from the ones that you buy. Bounded ones is what you get from in-game. The unbounded ones you have to buy yourself. Yeah, I know. It gets confusing, trust me. Then you have the whole shop here. You have your friendship shop, you have your honor shop, you have your reputation shop, which will wish I will take that. And then what else? Then we have the meow shop, which is basically, getting pay to win skins, right? If you have this on, you're literally flexing like you're Himothy, right? You get a badge and everything, you get a whole name card, you get to even get exclusive hair with this. Yeah, they actually limit hair tickets in this game. So if you want certain hairstyles, you have to either get it from, I believe, a certain amount to spend. You have to use a voucher on hair, which is just kind of weird. Hopefully they remove that. So they have a lot of exclusive outfits that you can have to just show that, you just want to flex on people. Moving on from that, trading center. Now, trading center is like the auction house, where another form of buying power besides the will system. And the reason why I say this, well, you can buy the wills, but the reason why I say this is because you can also buy books. And books allow you to advance your skills a lot faster than others. A lot of people are going to be selling this. Sell life skill materials as well, which is pretty nice. And then you have modules that aren't out yet. And then your appearance, you can literally sell the skin, by the way, the whole skin set. So if you don't want to pull, well, you have to get this. But I'm actually going to talk about that right now. You can get the mount, right? The headgear, and then the backwear, right? Now, let's also talk about this. A lot of people don't play MMOs like that. They're playing Blue Protocol. We have something called the RMT system, real money trading system, okay? So a lot of people will actually sell, Luno, right? Because you can actually also get Luno by exchanging real world money. So in reality, depending on the rate of an item, let's say you want to go for a mount or a skin, you have to convert it to see if it's worth more spending rose orbs and then converting and then buying it than pulling. and then people will sell on websites the Luno in order to just get it cheaper. It's going to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So maybe they have to limit some currencies or something like that to stop that whole thing from happening. Then we have the Reforged Stones, right? All this stuff you can buy, things that are on sale that you can sell, and then your recent transactions. As you can see, I was already buying Guardian books to feel a little ahead. And then I bought some Lifeskills material as well to put in my guild, because you do have to donate as well. So yeah, that's pretty much the monetization and gacha for Blue Protocol. Okay, so that's going to be it for my honest Blue Protocol Star Resonance review. I believe there may be little niche things that I didn't go over, but that's pretty much just the bare bones topics of Blue Protocol Star Resonance. The game is slated to come out, I believe, in October, like mid-October, maybe late October. I would not be surprised if the game got delayed, but they do have a IP issue that is bought out, so they have to release it, before the end of October. Unfortunately, there's a lot of things that they need to fix within the game, but I know these are also problems in China as well. So if they fix it for global and they don't fix it for China, that's a problem. So it's either going to be fixed on release or it's going to be updated as we do play the game, which I feel like is probably going to happen more than them fixing the game before release, because at least everyone will have the game and then money revenue is coming in that allows them to fix the game all at once, rather than doing China first and then waiting for everyone else to get the fix. China is a month ahead of us, so we'll see how that actually plays into if they speed us up, which I know a lot of people are going to want anyways, because once you finish everything, there's not really much to do. But Blue Protocol, I just find it as a glorified mobile game that just happens to be on PC. The anime aesthetic is cool. It's like the one true anime-esque game that people can really get into. I believe before this was like Soul Worker was like the really anime looking style game before, Blue Protocol. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my review. Leave a like and subscribe if you guys haven't yet already. I'll do one last pay to win video just talking about that. Maybe, I'm not sure yet, or if it's even worth it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.